Initiative 594 was voted down by 17 points in the 2nd District. Would you support an effort to repeal the law?
You know, it's interesting that you asked that question because as of this morning, I actually have a bill that I have dropped that will provide voters the opportunity to repeal Initiative 594. And the reason that this bill came forward was simply because I've heard a lot of our constituents expressing concerns that they thought that this initiative was simply a background check bill. You had a unique set of circumstances. You had two initiatives that were being run that had two very different approaches but had the same basis, and that was for background checks. And interestingly enough, the same districts in some circumstances that passed Initiative 594 also passed Initiative 591, which would have completely canceled Initiative 594. And so some of these things that voters have said that they didn't know that were in Initiative 594 were simply the fact that right now you have businesses such as holster manufacturers or tactical gear manufacturers that now can't manufacture custom holsters because of the definition of a transfer. You have armed security guards, including those types of security guards that transport money in those armored trucks, that technically are operating outside of the law in picking up the money and moving it because of the definition of a transfer with the firearm. And there are countless other issues that have been addressed as a result of that initiative. And so what I would like to do is give voters the opportunity to vote on this again and then allow the legislature to then take what the voters said resoundingly is that they believe that there should be background checks, and we can provide legislation that would further enhance that without all the other problems.
The unemployment rate for veterans in Washington state is 7.3%. What is the latest on House Bill 1241, which would offer B&O tax credits to businesses that hired veterans?
So House Bill 1241 just had a public hearing, and myself and Representative Murray were present to provide testimony regarding that bill. And essentially what it would do is it provides an opportunity for the veteran unemployment rate to be reduced, which is significantly high, not only in Washington state, but specifically in the districts. The downsizing of Joint Base Lewis-McChord and the military across the United States really presents a unique scenario where our veteran unemployment rate is potentially going to rise. We want to try to get ahead of this a little bit and encourage businesses to not only hire a veteran, but more importantly, provide real dollars to their bottom line if they do hire veterans and potentially create jobs as a result.
House Democrats have introduced a bill that would raise the state's minimum wage to $12 an hour. Why is this a bad idea?
You know, this comes back to kind of what we discussed with House Bill 1241, which addresses just the veteran side. But you have the minimum wage that's been addressed. You have mandatory paid vacation time. You have mandatory paid sick leave. There's a lot of mandatory benefits that are being pushed right now on small business. And I remember a time when businesses used to compete for employees. And if we could change the discussion to the real problem, which is the unemployment, we would be able to then foster an environment that would promote more benefit packages to employees. When the unemployment rate is lower and employers have to compete to hire employees and find competitive employees, then employers are more enticed to offer more benefits because employees, the qualified ones, will have multiple job offers, and how are they going to compare? Well, they're going to look at what am I going to be paid, what benefits are going to be offered, and really I think that offering the minimum wage and all these other mandates are doing nothing more than eliminating that competition and further hurting the unemployment because it's going to minimize jobs when we need to be focusing on minimizing those without jobs.